Hi there. Okay, we're going to get down to business now a little bit. Um, we're going to begin by exploring some geometry features of GeoGebra. And I thought it might be kind of fun to look at some transformations using images in your sketches. So the first thing we're going to do is actually insert an image into your sketch. And you'll notice that by default, this third button from the right has an insert text tool, insert image tool, and we'll use these quite a bit. We'll look at some of the other features in a little while, but for now, pick Insert Image, and at first nothing appears to happen, but what you're going to do is actually define the bottom left corner of your image. You're going to define the position where the lower left corner of your image is going to be placed. So if you click, GeoGebra will prompt you for a picture. And I've actually saved a picture of Stewie from Family Guy on my desktop. And notice that GeoGebra will support JPEG, PNG files, GIFs, TIFF files, and bitmap images. So go ahead and click Open. That inserts Stewie in your sketch. You can move him wherever you want. What we're going to do is actually create some points to attach the corners of the image to. It's worth noting that the bottom left corner of your image is considered corner 1. Then we're going to go counterclockwise to the different corners. This is corner 2, corner 3. Up here, the upper left is corner 4. And I'm going to create 3 points. Let's call them A, B, and C. And rather than just have the image appear, as it would by default, we're going to actually attach the corners of this image to these points. Some interesting things will happen. So you can take the image and actually right click on my Mac, control click on it, go to the object properties, and you'll notice there's a tab called position. We're going to define corner 1 to be point A. You'll notice that when I do that, see how A is now attached there. We're going to let corner 2 be point B. You'll notice when I do that, see how Stewie is the bottom right corner of the Stewie image is now located at point B. We're going to let C be the position of the upper right hand corner. In other words, corner 4. What that does is it transforms Stewie. And what's cool is this sketch is dynamic. So as I drag point C or B or any of the other points, Stewie is transformed accordingly. If I drag A over, notice now we have an inverted image. It's kind of cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is build on this idea of importing images and defining corners to use some of the more common transformation tools that kids might encounter in their classroom. So what I want you to do is actually open a new GeoGebra window. So go to File, New Window. And I want you to find a picture You can find it online. Might be kind of interesting to find a picture of a face. And we're going to hide the algebra view. So remember, we can do that by hitting Command-Shift-A for algebra. Remember that? And I'd like to make the font size here a little larger. I typically pick 18 or 20 point font. And we're going to insert a picture using the picture tool. So remember, that's third button from the right. Pick Insert Image. And I click. I have an image here called Todd. It's a picture of my face back before I had gray hair. And I'm going to insert this into the sketch. Perfect. I'm going to place a point A somewhere in the graphics view and let this be the first corner of my image. So in other words, I'm going to place the bottom left corner of my image at point A. So to do that, remember we hit Control click, pick Object Properties, and we're going to position corner 1 to be point A. There you go. And then in the input line, we're going to type in this equation. Point B is going to be defined as point A plus 3, 0. What this is going to do is add 3 units to the x-coordinate point A. That'll be point B. Go ahead and hit enter. This point B is going to be the bottom right corner of our image. So if you right click, let corner 2 be point B. Now notice it didn't distort my face. Since the upper corners are left free, it merely resizes the image. Resizes the image that way. And I can drag point A up like so. Now we're going to use the line tool to construct a line. So the third button here from the left, with lines and line segments, those sorts of things. We're going to create a line. We'll let this line just go through 2 points. C and D. And then we're going to use the Reflect Object tool to reflect this pre-image over the line CD. So go to the transformational tools here, pick the Reflect Object About Line. We're going to click on this, the object that we want to reflect, the line of reflection, and it creates a mirror image of the original, an image of the pre-image. We're going to take this. I want you to take your image, go to Object Properties, and you'll notice that, first of all, this is sort of interesting. It's called Pick One. Pick One Prime, and it's defined as the reflection of Pick One over line A. It's interesting. And if you go here underneath the style, you can change the opacity. And I'll move this down so you can see both at once. If I change the opacity of Pick One Prime to be 50%, notice that you can see through it a little bit. So I'll set it to be about 30 or so. Now, when I move point C, You'll notice that the reflection moves as well. We can move the entire reflecting line. Now look at this, it's kind of cool. What does that seem to suggest about my face? Look at that, it's kind of interesting. Let's change the opacity so it's a little bit filled in, it's a little bit more. I'll drag this line back over again.